Hey, what's up guys? This is Elliot with Easy German Grammar. We're going to get this thing started with 5 basic German questions. Those are Wie heißt du? What's your name? Woher kommst du? Where are you from? Wo wohnst du? Where do you live? Welche Sprachen verstehst du? Which languages do you understand? And wie geht es dir? How are you? So we're going to be working with some vocab. Wie, wo, woher, and welche are going to be our 4 question words. How, where, from where, and which. So you'll notice that there are different German words for wo, where, and woher, from where. And then we're going to be working with 5 verbs, heißen, wohnen, kommen, verstehen, and gehen, to be called, to live, to come, to understand, and to go. You'll notice that all of these verbs end with an en. All German verbs end with either an n or an en. Most of the time it'll be an en. That means that they're in their infinitive or their unconjugated forms. So we don't have any subjects for these verbs. They're just in their normal, regular verbs if we're saying them without a subject. We'll be working with 4 pronouns, ich, du, and sie. These are nominative, our subject pronouns. These are the things that we're going to be talking about in our sentences. And then we have dative pronouns, which are mir, dir, ihm, and ihr. To me, to you, to him, and to her. So instead of saying literally to me in these 2 words with a preposition and then the pronoun, we're combining them into just one word, mir, dir, ihm, or ihr. And then we have 2 prepositions, in and aus. We'll also be working with quite a few countries and languages and then some adjectives to describe how we're doing. So we have some pretty familiar countries. Amerika, Deutschland is Germany, Österreich is Austria, die Schweiz is Switzerland, die Türkei, Turkey, Frankreich, France. The rest should be pretty recognizable. And then some languages to go along with those. Deutsch is German, Turkish, Französisch is French, Italienisch, Italian, Danish, Portugiesisch, Spanish, and Chinesisch. And then some adjectives to describe how we're doing. Gut, sehr gut, good, very good. Super, fantastisch, prima is like your prime, or ausgezeichnet is just excellent. Wunderbar, wonderful, schlecht, not so good, and so la la, sort of in between. You're doing so-so. That's our vocabulary for this lesson. Our first question is Wie heißt du? Word for word, this translation is how are called you. So how are you called? Literally translated, that's what is your name. How are called you. So you'll notice this ends with an st sound because in this instance we have a subject, du, and this du will trigger an st sound. And then whenever we're replying to this answer, we want to say I am called or my name is. Ich is our subject, and so ich is going to trigger the verb to end with an e this time. So wie heißt du? Ich heiße blank. So if someone were to ask me wie heißt du, I would say ich heiße Elliot. For our yes and no questions, we have heißt du blank. Is your name or are you called? Literally, are called you blank. Heißt du Alexander? Nein, ich heiße nicht Alexander, ich heiße Elliot. Heißt du Elliot? Ja, ich heiße Elliot. So for this one, we're starting with our verb, heißt, and then we have our subject, du. Again, we have the st ending sound. Our next question is wo wohnst du? Same format. Question word, verb, and then subject. Again, we see that the du is triggering us to have an st ending on our verb. Where live you, or where do you live? So you'll notice we don't have this du going on in German. We just have 3 words. Question word, verb, and then subject. Where live you? Ich wohne in, we have this list of countries that could be the answer. Ich wohne in Amerika. Yes or no question, wohnst du in blank? Wohnst du in Italien? Nein, ich wohne nicht in Italien, ich wohne in Amerika. Wohnst du in Amerika? Ja, ich wohne in Amerika. So what if I asked you, wo wohnst du? How would you reply? First you would say, ich wohne in, and then name your country. And if it's not on this list, then I'll leave a link in the descriptions to a list of German country names. Our next question is, woher kommst du? Pretty similar, but this time we're asking, woher, from where? So we're not saying the word from, we're combining it into the question word. From where come you? Where do you come from? Again, we have the du as our subject, which is triggering our verb to have an st ending. The answer to this question, ich komme aus. Ich komme aus Amerika. Ich komme aus Deutschland. Ich komme aus Schottland. Our yes or no question, kommst du aus blank? Ja, ich komme aus blank. Oder nein, ich komme nicht aus blank. Can we see this ich triggering our verb to end with an E? So in the question, whenever we're talking about du is our subject, du is triggering an ST, and in the answer, ich is triggering the verb to end with an E. Our next question, welche Sprachen verstehst du? Which languages do you understand? Again, we have du as our subject, which is triggering our ST. Ich verstehe Englisch und Deutsch. I understand English and German. If someone were to ask me, verstehst du Chinesisch? I would say, nein, ich verstehe nicht Chinesisch. Ich verstehe Englisch und Deutsch. Our last question is a little bit different than what we would ask in English. We're asking, wie geht es dir? How are you? But literally, word for word, we're asking, how goes it to you? So question word, verb, and then our subject, and then dir is our dative pronoun, to you. So we're asking something like, how goes it? How's it going? How goes it to you? With our answer, we're going to start with S, which is our new subject, and then our verb is going to end with a T because of this S. So S is triggering the verb to end with a T, so now we have S as our subject. And then our dative pronoun, mir, it goes to me, and then we can answer with any of these adjectives. Yes or no question, again, we're starting with the verb, and then we have our subject, S, and then our dative pronoun, and then anything else, followed by our answer. Geht es dir wunderbar? Ja, es geht mir wunderbar, oder nein, es geht mir nicht wunderbar. So let's do a comparison of all 5 of our questions. Wie heißt du? What's your name? Wo wohnst du? Where do you live? Woher kommst du? Where do you come from? Welche Sprachen verstehst du? Which languages do you understand? And wie geht es dir? How are you? We have a similar word order for all of these. For our questions, we start with a question word, then we have a conjugated verb ending with an ST whenever we're talking about du, followed by du. Wo wohnst du? Woher kommst du? Welche Sprachen verstehst du? For our answers, we have subject ich, because now we're talking about ourselves. Ich heiße, ich wohne, ich komme. Then our verb will end with an E because ich is our new subject. And then with this last question, we have S as our subject for both the question and the answer, so our verb will end with a T. Wie geht es dir? Es geht mir gut. For the yes or no questions, we start with our conjugated verb, heißt, wohnst, kommst, verstehst, and then we have our subject, du, and then for this last one, S, and then the rest. Heißt du Georg? Wohnst du in Deutschland? Kommst du aus Österreich? Verstehst du Türkisch? Geht es dir schlecht? So far we've been talking about I and you as our subject, but if we're reporting about other people, then we'll need third-person personal pronouns, and sie. Means he, and sie means she. And in this case, you'll notice that we have an T ending on all of these verbs. Wie heißt Wo wohnt Woher kommt So here we have the and the Z triggering a T ending. And we have the same word order as if we were asking about du, or if we were replying with ich. We just have to change the verb conjugation. So if I'm talking about my best friend, I say wie heißt heißt blank. If I'm still talking about him, I can say wo wohnt wohnt in Moore. Woher kommt kommt aus Oklahoma. Welche Sprachen versteht versteht blank. Same thing with the yes or no questions. Heißt wohnt in Amerika, kommt aus Amerika. Same thing, same word order, just different pronouns and different verb conjugations. So that's it for this lesson. Be sure to like and subscribe, and look in the descriptions for some exercises, and you can try them out in the comments below.